Welcome to my channel. Unleash your English. Do you know English, but your mind becomes slow when it is time to speak? You know the words, but they do not come fast enough. In this video, you will learn simple tricks to think faster, answer quickly, and speak English more naturally. Keep watching, because these small changes can completely change the way you speak. Chapter 1. Stop trying to create the perfect sentence. Have you ever wanted to speak English, but your mind suddenly became slow? You knew the answer. You knew some English words. You even knew what you wanted to say, but you did not speak. You waited. You started thinking, is this grammar correct? Is this the right word? What if my pronunciation is wrong? What if the other person laughs at me? And while you were thinking about all these things, the moment was gone. The other person continued speaking, and you stayed quiet. This happens to many English learners, but there is one important thing you need to understand today. Your biggest problem may not be your English. Your biggest problem may be that you are trying too hard to speak perfectly. You are putting too much pressure on your brain. You want every sentence to be correct, beautiful, and impressive before you say it. But real conversation does not work like that. When people speak naturally, they do not stop and build every sentence like a difficult grammar exercise. They simply express their idea. They speak, continue, correct themselves if needed, and move forward. That is exactly what you need to start doing. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your day?" You want to say that your day was very tiring because you had a lot of work. But instead of answering, your mind starts searching for a difficult word. You think, what is the best word? Exhausting? Exhausted? Tiring? Tired? Now your brain is busy choosing one perfect word. You become nervous, and finally you say nothing. But there is a much easier way. You can simply say, "My day was very busy. I had a lot of work. I am tired now." That is simple English, but it works perfectly. The other person understands you. The conversation continues. And most importantly, you are speaking. This is the first secret of thinking fast and speaking fast. Use easy words first. Better words can come later. You do not need an advanced word when a simple word can carry your message. If you forget delicious, say, "The food is very good." If you forget exhausted, say, "I am very tired." If you forget beautiful, say, "It looks very nice." Your goal is not to impress people with difficult English. Your first goal is to communicate. Here is a powerful rule I want you to remember. Easy words first, better words later. This rule can change the way you speak. When you follow it, your brain becomes lighter. You stop searching for the perfect sentence. You stop checking every word before speaking. You start using the English you already know. And that is when speaking becomes faster. Think about your first language. Do you plan every sentence before you speak? Of course not. You begin talking, and the next words come naturally. English can slowly become like that too, but first you must stop treating every sentence like an exam question. Conversation is not an exam. Nobody is standing there with a red pen, checking every small mistake. People simply want to understand your message. If your sentence is simple but clear, that is already a success. A short, correct sentence is much better than a perfect sentence that never leaves your mouth. Now I want to give you a small challenge. Answer the next questions quickly. Do not prepare a perfect answer. Give yourself only 3 seconds. What did you eat today? What are you doing right now? What is your favorite drink? What did you do yesterday? What do you want to do tomorrow? Start with a simple answer. I ate rice. I am watching a video. I like tea. I worked yesterday. Tomorrow I want to rest. These answers may look very basic, but this is how speaking speed begins. First, you teach your brain to respond quickly. Later, you can make the answers longer. I ate rice for lunch. I am watching this video because I want to improve my English. I like tea because it helps me relax. See what happened? You started with a simple sentence and then added more information. This is much easier than waiting for the full answer to become perfect in your mind. Another important thing is this: do not try to think of the whole sentence before you start speaking. Start with the first easy part. Let the rest come while you are talking. For example, someone asks, "Why are you learning English?" You do not need to prepare a 10-second answer in your head. Start with, "I am learning English because..." Now your brain has a little more time. Then continue, "Because I want to speak with more people." Then add, "I also want to understand English videos and books." You created the answer step by step while speaking. This is what natural speakers often do. They do not always know the full sentence before they start. They begin, and the idea grows while they speak. This habit is extremely powerful because it removes the fear of starting. You also need to change the way you see mistakes. A mistake is not a stop sign. It is simply part of learning. If you say, "Yesterday I go to market," and then realize the mistake, you can quickly say, "Sorry, yesterday I went to the market." That is completely fine. You continued, you corrected yourself, you learned. But if you stay silent because you are afraid of saying go instead of went, you lose the chance to practice. Remember this sentence: speaking with small mistakes is better than staying silent with perfect grammar in your head. Your English grows when you use it, not when you hide it. Starting today, give yourself permission to speak simple English. Use the words you know. Build short sentences. Answer quickly. Do not wait for the perfect word. Do not try to sound like an advanced speaker. Sound like yourself, but keep speaking. Every quick answer is training your brain. Every simple sentence is making the connection between your mind and your mouth stronger. And soon, something exciting starts to happen. You begin to realize that you already know enough English to have many small conversations. You were not always missing words. Sometimes, you were simply waiting too long to use them. But there is one more problem that can still slow you down. Maybe you first create the sentence in your own language and then translate it into English. That process takes time. In the next chapter, you will learn how to train your brain to think in simple English directly, so your words can come faster and more naturally. Chapter 2. Train your brain to think in simple English. If you want to think fast and speak fast, you must train your brain to stop doing one slow thing again and again, translating every sentence. Many learners first think in their own language, then change that idea into English, then check the grammar, and finally speak. This takes too much time. Imagine someone asks you, "What are you doing this evening?" Your brain first creates the answer in your language. Then you search for English words. Then you think about sentence order. By the time you are ready, several seconds have already passed. This is why you sometimes know the English, but still cannot speak quickly. The good news is that you can train your brain to make a shorter connection. Instead of idea, native language, translation, English, and speaking, you can slowly build a new path. Idea, English, speak. This will not happen in one day, but it can happen with simple daily practice. Start with very easy English. Do not try to think about big topics. Look around you right now. What can you see? Maybe you see a chair. Think, "This is a chair." Maybe the window is open. Think, "The window is open." Maybe your phone is on the table. Think, "My phone is on the table." Maybe you are drinking tea. Think, I am drinking tea. These sentences look very simple, but they are powerful training. You are teaching your brain to connect real life directly with English words. You see something, and English comes. You feel something, and English comes. If you are tired, think, I am tired. If you are hungry, think, I am hungry. If the weather is hot, think, it is hot today. This is how direct English thinking begins. It does not begin with long speeches. It begins with small thoughts. Here is a simple exercise you can do every day. I call it the English eyes exercise. For 5 minutes, look at the world around you and describe what you see in simple English. You can do this in your room, in the kitchen, on the street, or while traveling. Look at a car and think, the car is moving. Look at a shop and think, the shop is busy. Look at the sky and think, the sky is clear. If you do not know the English word for something, do not stop. Use another simple way to describe it. The goal is not to know every word. The goal is to keep your brain working in English. When you repeat this exercise every day, your mind slowly begins to choose English faster. You can also practice an English mind routine. Talk to yourself silently during normal activities. When you wake up, think, I need to get up. While getting ready, think, I am washing my face. I am putting on my clothes. Before leaving home, think, I need my phone. I need my keys. While walking, think, I am going to work, or the road is busy today. You are not studying a grammar book. You are using English inside your real life. This is important because your brain remembers language better when it connects the language with actions and situations. Do not worry if your thoughts are very basic at first. Simple thinking is exactly what you need. First, think one word, coffee. Then 2 words, hot coffee. Then a short sentence, the coffee is hot. Later you can think, the coffee is hot, but I like it. Your English grows naturally, one small step at a time. Many learners make the mistake of trying to think like an advanced speaker from the first day. Then they become frustrated. Do not do that. Think at your level and keep moving. A simple English thought that comes quickly is more useful for speaking than a difficult English thought that takes 1 minute to create. There is another powerful habit you can build. Ask yourself small questions in English and answer them immediately. What do I need? I need water. Where am I going? I am going home. How do I feel? I feel good. What will I do next? I will eat dinner. This question and answer practice teaches your brain to react in English, and reaction speed is exactly what you need in conversation. Remember, your goal is not to completely stop translating tomorrow. Translation may still happen sometimes, and that is normal. Your goal is to translate less and less. Every day, create more direct connections between your life and English. The more you do this, the faster English will start appearing in your mind. And when English comes faster to your mind, it can come faster from your mouth. But there is an even faster way to speak. Natural speakers do not always build sentences one word at a time. They often use ready-made groups of words that come out almost automatically. In the next chapter, you will learn how these simple phrases can help you start speaking immediately and keep the conversation moving. Chapter 3. Speak with ready-made English phrases. Now you know that thinking directly in English can help you speak faster. But there is another powerful secret that can make speaking even easier. You do not need to build every sentence one word at a time. In real conversations, people often use groups of words that they already know very well. These groups come out quickly because the brain does not need to create them again and again. Think about phrases like, I think that, in my opinion. For example, the problem is, I am not sure but, or What I mean is, these are ready-made English phrases. When you know them well, you can start speaking immediately. You do not need to wait until your complete answer is ready. You can begin with a phrase, and while you are saying it, your brain gets a little extra time to prepare the next idea. This may sound simple, but it can make a huge difference. Imagine someone asks you, "Do you think learning English is difficult?" Maybe you do not know how to start. Your mind becomes empty. But if you already know the phrase, "I think that," you can begin immediately. I think that learning English can be difficult at first, but it becomes easier with practice. You started speaking before your full answer was ready. That is the power of phrases. They help you enter the conversation quickly. They are like small bridges between your thoughts. Instead of standing silently and searching for the perfect first word, you already have a safe starting point. This is why I want you to stop learning only single words. Single words are useful, but phrases are even more useful for speaking. If you learn the word opinion, that is good. But if you learn the phrase, "in my opinion," you can use it immediately in a real conversation. If you learn the word example, that is good. But if you learn, "for example," now you have a speaking tool. Your goal is not only to know English, your goal is to have English ready to use. Let us build your first group of powerful speaking phrases. For starting an answer, you can use, "I think." For me, I would say, "Well, I think," and "in my opinion." For giving an example, you can say, "For example," "for instance," or simply, "like this." For explaining something, use, "the reason is," "what I mean is," "the problem is," and "the important thing is." If you need a little time to think, you can say, "Let me think. That is a good question. I am not sure, but," or "let me explain." These phrases are very important because silence creates pressure. When someone asks you a question and you say nothing, your brain starts to panic. You think, "I need to answer now. I need to answer now." That pressure makes thinking even harder. But if you say, "That is a good question. Let me think," you are still speaking. The conversation has not stopped. You have given your brain 2 or 3 extra seconds, and those seconds can help you find your next sentence. Let us practice. Imagine someone asks, "What is your favorite place?" You can begin, "I would say my favorite place is my hometown because I feel comfortable there." Someone asks, "Why do you want to improve your English?" You can say, "The main reason is that I want to communicate with more people." Someone asks, "Do you enjoy reading?" You can begin, "Yes, I think reading is very useful because I can learn new things." Notice something important. The first phrase is helping you start. Once you start, the rest becomes easier. The hardest moment in speaking is often the first 2 or 3 seconds. If you can win those seconds, you can keep going. Here is a challenge that can make these phrases automatic. Choose 5 phrases today. Only 5. For example, "I think." For example, "the reason is," "I am not sure, but," and "what I mean is." Say each phrase aloud 10 times. Yes, 10 times. Do not only read them with your eyes. Use your mouth. Your mouth also needs training. English speaking is not only a brain skill, it is also a physical skill. Your lips, tongue, and voice need to become comfortable with common English patterns. After repeating the phrases, use each one in 3 different sentences. Say, "I think English is important. I think this book is useful. I think tomorrow will be a busy day." Then practice. "The reason is," "the reason is I want a better job." "The reason is I enjoy learning." "The reason is I want to travel." When you repeat the same phrase in different situations, your brain learns something powerful. This phrase can be used again and again. Soon, you do not need to search for it. It appears automatically, and that is exactly what fast speaking needs. You want common English to become automatic. Do not try to memorize 50 phrases in one day. That may only confuse you. Learn 5 useful phrases, use them many times, then add 5 more. Small practice creates strong memory. You can also create phrase groups for your daily life. If you often speak about work, learn phrases like, I am working on, I need to finish, I have to, and I am trying to. If you often talk about your daily routine, practice, usually I, in the morning, after that, then I, and at the end of the day. If you like sharing opinions, learn, I agree because, I do not think so because, for me, and it depends. Imagine how much easier speaking becomes when these phrases are already waiting in your memory. You are no longer creating everything from zero. You have pieces ready, and you only need to connect them. This is exactly like building with blocks. If every block is already there, building becomes much faster. Now here is an important moment. Fast speaking does not mean speaking so quickly that nobody can understand you. That is not the goal. The goal is to reduce long pauses. The goal is to respond more naturally. You can speak at a comfortable speed and still sound confident if your words come smoothly. A calm speaker with fewer pauses often sounds more fluent than someone who speaks very quickly but becomes confused. So do not race. Focus on flow. Start quickly. Use simple phrases and keep your idea moving. And remember this, you do not need thousands of difficult words before you can speak well. Sometimes 20 useful phrases can help you more than 200 random vocabulary words. When those phrases become automatic, you feel safer. You know how to start. You know how to explain. You know how to give an example. You know how to buy time. And because you feel safer, your confidence grows. When your confidence grows, your brain works better. When your brain works better, your words come faster. But even when you know useful phrases, one problem can still appear. You may be speaking well, and suddenly you forget one important word. Many learners stop completely at that moment. They think the conversation is finished, but it does not have to be. In the next chapter, you will learn how to keep talking even when you forget a word, and this skill can make you feel much more free when you speak English. Chapter 4. Keep talking when you forget a word. One of the biggest reasons English learners stop speaking is very simple. They forget one word. Maybe the conversation is going well. You are speaking with confidence. Your sentences are coming faster. Then suddenly, you need one word, but you cannot remember it. Your mind becomes blank. You start searching. You become nervous. You stop speaking. And then you think, my English is not good enough. But this is not true. Forgetting a word is normal. Even fluent speakers sometimes forget words. The important skill is not remembering every word. The important skill is knowing how to continue when a word does not come. This is where real speaking confidence begins. If you can keep talking even when your vocabulary is not perfect, you become much more powerful in English. You stop depending on one exact word. You become flexible. And when your brain becomes flexible, you can think faster and speak faster. Imagine you want to say the word umbrella, but you forget it. You can stop and become silent, or you can say, it is the thing we use when it rains. The other person will understand you. Maybe you forget the word dentist. You can say, the doctor who takes care of your teeth. Maybe you forget refrigerator. You can say, the cold place where we keep food. Maybe you forget the word wallet. You can say, the small thing where I keep my money and cards. Do you see what is happening? You are still communicating. You do not know the exact word, but you still have many other words. This is a very important lesson. When one word disappears, do not throw away the whole sentence. Use the words that are still available. Your English does not need to stop because one small piece is missing. Here is a powerful technique you can start using today. I call it say it another way. Whenever you cannot remember a word, explain the idea with easier English. Ask yourself, what does this thing do? What does it look like? Where do we use it? Who uses it? These questions help your brain find another path. For example, if you forget the word bakery, you can say, the place where people make and sell bread and cakes. If you forget mechanic, say, a person who fixes cars. If you forget stairs, say, the steps we use to go up or down. This exercise trains your brain to move instead of freeze. And that is exactly what you need in real conversations. Fast speakers are not people who never have problems. They are people who know how to move around the problem. You can also use some rescue phrases when you forget a word. These phrases give you time and help you stay inside the conversation. You can say, I don't know the exact word, but it is something that, it is a person who, it is a place where, it looks like, or we use it for. For example, I don't know the exact word, but it is something we use to open a bottle, or it is a person who teaches children at school. These phrases are simple, but they are very useful. They keep your mouth moving while your brain is thinking, and that reduces panic. When you panic, your memory becomes weaker. When you stay calm and keep speaking, your brain gets more time to find the word. Let us try a quick exercise. Look around your room and choose 5 objects. Now describe them without saying their names. Maybe you see a fan. Say, it is something that moves air and helps us feel cool. Maybe you see a pillow. Say, it is something soft that we put under our head when we sleep. Maybe you see a charger. Say, it is something we use to give power to our phone. This exercise may feel like a game, but it is serious speaking training. It teaches you to explain ideas with the English you already know. And when you can explain, you become less afraid of missing vocabulary. Another thing you need to understand is that silence becomes longer when you fight with your memory. You keep saying inside your mind, what is the word? What is the word? I know this word. The harder you fight, the more nervous you become. Instead, move forward. Say something simpler. Maybe the exact word will come later. Maybe it will not. It does not matter. Communication is more important than perfection. Your goal is not to prove that you know every word. Your goal is to help the other person understand your idea. This skill can completely change your confidence. Once you know that you can survive a forgotten word, you stop being afraid of speaking. You begin to trust yourself. You realize, even if I forget something, I can explain it. That one thought gives you freedom. And when you feel free, your speaking becomes smoother. You take more chances. You speak more often. You learn faster. So remember this sentence. Fluency is not knowing every word. Fluency is knowing how to continue. If you forget a word, describe it. Explain it. Use simpler words. Use a rescue phrase. Keep moving. Do not let one missing word stop your whole conversation. Now you have learned how to survive difficult moments while speaking. But there is still one important skill you need if you want to answer people more quickly. In the next chapter, you will learn how to train yourself to start speaking within 3 seconds, so long pauses become smaller, and your English starts to feel much more natural. Chapter 5. Train yourself to answer in 3 seconds. You have already learned something very important. You do not need perfect English to keep talking. You can use simple words. You can use ready-made phrases. You can explain a word when you forget it. Now we are going to train one more powerful skill, answering faster. Think about what happens when someone asks you a simple question in English. Maybe they ask, "What do you do in your free time?" You understand the question, you know the answer, but you still wait. 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, maybe even 10 seconds. During that time, your brain is trying to create the perfect answer. You are thinking about grammar. You are choosing words. You are checking everything before speaking. This is exactly the habit we want to change. From now on, I want you to remember one simple rule. Start speaking within 3 seconds. Your answer does not need to be complete. It does not need to be beautiful. It only needs to begin. If someone asks, "What do you do in your free time?" you can start with, "In my free time, I usually..." That is enough to start. Now your brain has more time to decide what comes next. You can continue. "I usually watch videos, read something, or spend time with my family." The important thing is that you did not wait for the complete answer. You started first, and you built the answer while speaking. This is one of the best ways to think fast and speak fast. I call this the 3-second answer rule. It is very simple. Ask yourself a question. Count 1, 2, 3, and start speaking before you finish counting. Let us try it. What is your favorite food? 1, 2, 3. Start. You can say, "My favorite food is rice because..." Do not worry about the next sentence yet. Just begin. Next question. What did you do yesterday? 1, 2, 3. Yesterday I went to work and... Good. Next question. What do you want to do tomorrow? 1, 2, 3. Tomorrow I want to... Excellent. This exercise trains your brain to react instead of waiting. And reaction is very important in conversation. When you talk with someone, you do not have 1 minute to prepare every answer. You need to respond naturally. But natural response does not come only from studying. It comes from practice. You have to train your brain to understand a question, choose a simple starting point, and speak. At first, 3 seconds may feel very short. That is okay. Your answers may also be very short. That is also okay. The goal is not to give the best answer. The goal is to stop the habit of waiting too long. Here is another secret that will make the 3-second rule much easier. Keep a few starting phrases ready in your mind. You can say, "I think," "for me." Well, I would say, "In my experience," "Usually I," "To be honest," or "That is a good question." These phrases are very useful because they help you enter the answer immediately. Imagine someone asks, "Would you like to live in another country?" Maybe you need a moment to think. You can say, "Well, I would say yes, because..." Now you are already speaking. Your brain is preparing the next idea while your mouth is saying the first phrase. Or someone asks, "What is the best way to learn English?" You can begin, "For me, the best way is..." You do not need to know every part of the answer before you start. This is exactly how you reduce long pauses. You give yourself a simple beginning, and then you move forward one idea at a time. Now I want you to try another exercise called 1 question, 3 answers. This exercise is powerful because it teaches your brain that there is not only one correct way to answer a question. Many learners become slow because they are searching for one perfect sentence. But there are usually many simple ways to express the same idea. Take the question, "Why are you learning English?" Your first answer can be, "I am learning English because I want to speak confidently." Your second answer can be, "I want to improve my English for my future." Your third answer can be, "English is important to me because I want to communicate with more people." 3 answers. Same question, different words. When you practice like this, your brain becomes more flexible. If one sentence does not come, another one can come. You stop depending on one perfect answer. This flexibility is a major part of fast speaking. Let us try another question. What do you like to do on weekends? First answer: I like to rest at home. Second answer: I usually spend time with my family. Third answer: sometimes I watch movies and listen to music. None of these answers is difficult. That is exactly the point. You do not need difficult English to speak quickly. You need easy English that is available fast. Practice this with simple questions every day. What is your favorite season? What do you usually eat for breakfast? What kind of movies do you like? What is your dream job? Who inspires you? Where do you want to travel? Answer each question 3 times. You will be surprised by how quickly your brain starts finding new sentences. Now let us make the training even stronger. Choose one simple topic and speak about it for 30 seconds without stopping. The topic can be my family, my day, my job, my favorite food, or my city. Do not stop to correct every mistake. Keep moving. If you do not know what to say next, use a connecting phrase like another thing is. For example, also, and I think, or the reason is. After 30 seconds, stop. Take a short break. Then speak about the same topic again for 45 seconds. You will notice something interesting. The second time is usually easier because your brain has already found some ideas and words. Then try the same topic for 1 minute. Now you are training speed, memory, and confidence at the same time. This is called repetition training, and it is one of the simplest ways to improve speaking. Do not make the mistake of thinking fast means talking extremely fast. That is not what we are trying to do. If you speak too quickly, your pronunciation may become unclear, and you may create more mistakes. Fast speaking means fast response. It means your ideas come with less unnecessary waiting. You can still speak at a calm, comfortable speed. Imagine 2 learners. The first learner speaks very quickly for 5 seconds, then stops for 10 seconds because they do not know what to say. The second learner speaks at a normal speed, but they continue smoothly with only small pauses. Who sounds more fluent? Usually the second learner. Fluency is not a race. Flow is more important than speed, so do not push your mouth to move too fast. Train your brain to start faster and continue more smoothly. There is one more habit you need to remove: preparing the entire answer in your head before speaking. This habit makes conversation very slow. Imagine someone asks, "How was your weekend?" You do not need to create a full paragraph inside your mind. Start with something easy. "It was good." Then add, "I stayed at home on Saturday." Then continue, "On Sunday, I visited my friend." Your answer grows sentence by sentence. Think of speaking like walking. You do not need to see the whole road before taking the first step. You take one step, then another, then another. English speaking works in the same way. Speak one simple sentence. While you say that sentence, prepare the next one. Then continue. You can practice this alone. You do not need a speaking partner every day. Use your phone and record yourself answering random questions. Ask yourself 10 questions and give yourself only 3 seconds to start each answer. Do not restart the recording every time you make a mistake. Keep going. That is important. When you listen later, do not only listen for grammar mistakes, listen for pauses. Ask yourself, did I start quickly? Did I stop for a long time? Could I continue even when I forgot something? This will show you real progress. Maybe today you need 8 seconds to answer. After a week, maybe you need 4 seconds. Later, you may begin naturally in 2 or 3 seconds. That is improvement. And there is something exciting you will discover when you practice this regularly. your confidence will grow because your brain starts trusting itself. Right now, your mind may say, wait, check, be careful, do not make a mistake. But with practice, a new voice starts to appear. Start. Use simple English. You can explain. Keep going. That new habit changes everything. You become less afraid of questions. You stop seeing every conversation as a test. You begin to enjoy speaking because you know you can respond. So your challenge is simple. For the next 7 days, answer 10 English questions every day. Give yourself only 3 seconds to start. Use simple words. Use ready-made phrases. Do not wait for a perfect sentence. And if you make a mistake, continue. Remember, speed comes from repetition. Confidence comes from action. Fluency comes from using English again and again. Now you know how to start faster, answer faster, and keep your ideas moving. But all these techniques will become truly powerful only when they become part of your daily life. In the next chapter, you will learn how to build a simple daily routine that trains your brain and mouth to speak English faster, more naturally, and with much more confidence. Chapter 6. Build a daily fast-speaking routine. Now you have all the main tools you need. You know how to stop searching for perfect sentences. You know how to think in simple English. You know how to use ready-made phrases. You know how to continue when you forget a word. You also know how to answer within 3 seconds. But there is one final thing that will decide how fast your English improves: daily practice. Knowing a method is not enough. You have to use it again and again until it becomes natural. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You can read 10 books about bicycles, but you will not learn to ride until you actually get on the bicycle and practice. English speaking works in the same way. You can study grammar for years. You can memorize thousands of words. You can watch hundreds of English videos. But if you rarely open your mouth and speak, your speaking will remain slow. So from today, I want you to stop thinking only about studying English. Start thinking about training English. Studying gives you knowledge. Training teaches your brain and mouth how to use that knowledge quickly. You do not need 3 hours every day. You do not even need 1 hour. You can start with only 10 minutes. The important thing is that those 10 minutes are active. During the first 2 minutes, look around and describe what you can see. Say, there is a table in front of me. My phone is on the table. The window is open. The room is quiet. I can hear a car outside. Do not search for advanced words. Use simple English and keep moving. During the next 2 minutes, talk about what you are doing. I am sitting in my room. I am practicing English. I want to speak faster. After this, I will drink some water. This exercise connects English directly with your life. Your brain does not need to translate a difficult story. You are simply describing the present moment. That makes English easier to produce. For the next 2 minutes, practice 5 ready-made phrases. Choose phrases such as, I think, for example, the reason is, in my opinion, and what I mean is. Create different sentences with each one. Say, I think English is interesting. I think practice is important. For example, I can practice while walking. The reason is that I want to improve. Do not only read the phrases, say them aloud. Your goal is to make these useful patterns so familiar that they come out without effort. When a phrase becomes automatic, you save thinking time during a conversation. And when you save thinking time, your speaking becomes smoother. Then spend 2 minutes answering simple questions using the 3-second rule. Ask yourself, what did I do today? What do I want to do tomorrow? What food do I like? What is one thing I want to improve? Where would I like to travel? Give yourself 3 seconds and start. Do not prepare the whole answer. Begin with one simple sentence and build from there. If you get stuck, use a ready-made phrase. If you forget a word, explain it another way. This small exercise combines everything you have learned. It trains quick thinking, simple vocabulary, flexible speaking, and confidence at the same time. For the final 2 minutes, choose one topic and speak without stopping. Your topic can be my morning, my family, my work, my favorite food, my future, or anything simple. Try to speak for 1 full minute. Then take a short pause and speak about the same topic again. The second time, try to make it smoother. You may notice that your sentences come faster because your brain already knows what you want to say. This is one of the most powerful ideas in speaking practice. Repetition creates speed. When you talk about the same topic more than once, you do not start from zero every time. Your brain remembers useful words, phrases, and ideas. This is how speaking becomes automatic. You can also record yourself once or twice a week. Do not record yourself because you want to find every mistake. Record yourself because you want to see your progress. Listen and ask simple questions. Did I start speaking faster? Did I have fewer long pauses? Did I keep talking when I forgot something? Did I use simple phrases naturally? Maybe your grammar is not perfect yet, and that is okay. Focus on flow first. You can improve accuracy step by step. If you listen to a recording from today and then another recording after 2 or 3 weeks, you may hear a real difference. That difference will motivate you to continue. There is another important rule. Do not change your practice topic too quickly. Many learners think they always need a new topic, but repeating old topics can be even more useful. Speak about your daily routine today. Speak about it again tomorrow. Speak about it again after 3 days. The first time, you may struggle. The second time, you will remember more words. The third time, your sentences may come much faster. This is not boring practice. This is brain training. Athletes repeat the same movements. Musicians repeat the same songs. Speakers also need repetition. Repetition turns difficult English into familiar English, and familiar English becomes fast English. Most importantly, do not compare your English with someone who has been speaking for 10 years. Compare your English today with your English yesterday. If you answer 1 second faster, that is progress. If you speak for 10 seconds longer without stopping, that is progress. If you forget a word but continue instead of becoming silent, that is progress. Small improvements may not feel exciting every day, but they become powerful when you continue for weeks and months. One day, someone will ask you a question in English, and you will answer without translating. You will not search for a perfect sentence. You will simply speak, and you may suddenly realize, I did not even think about it. The English just came. That is the moment you are training for. So here is your final challenge. For the next 7 days, give English 10 active minutes every day. Think in simple English. Use useful phrases. Answer quickly. Describe words you forget. Speak about one topic without stopping. Do not wait until you feel confident before you practice. Practice is what creates confidence. You already have more English inside your mind than you may realize. Now your job is to build a faster road between your brain and your mouth. Every sentence makes that road stronger. Every day makes speaking a little easier. Keep going, even when you make mistakes. Keep speaking, even when your English feels simple. Simple English spoken with confidence is powerful English. And if this video helped you, do not finish here and forget everything tomorrow. Start your first 10-minute practice today. If you want to keep improving your English with simple and practical lessons, subscribe to the channel and become part of this learning journey. Like this video if you learn something useful, and write in the comments, I will think fast and speak fast. Your comment can be your promise to yourself. Keep practicing, keep believing in your progress, and remember, you do not become a fast English speaker by waiting. You become one by speaking.